Yeah, so like let me ask you like 30 questions about how I'm doing what I'm doing before during this episode.
Behind the scenes, a shot 30.
Five, four, three, two, one. And this is Shot 30 Podcast, and I am Shay Newbert. And sitting across from me, halfway across the world, is Mr. Andrew Van. Andrew, thank you for literally everything.
You don't have to do that, man. I'm glad to help out.
No, dude, I mean, literally, I have no idea what I'm doing with any of this stuff. And Andrew has been incredible helping me with everything. And Andrew also has like quite the diverse background.
Yeah, I have too many tricks of the trade. I mean, just got into podcasting like less than 2 years ago, and then I got into video editing. I got into a little bit of photography, marketing. Like it's hard as to not sit down, especially when you're already like a stepdad of two in a new marriage. So
Oh, okay. So now, well, the first thing I want to talk to you about is, well, actually, before we go there, hey, Shot 30 Podcast is available on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, Castbox, and YouTube if you're just listening on the apps. So go check it out. Hit subscribe right now if you're looking on YouTube and leave a review, Apple Podcast. It only helps us out. But Andrew, so you have a history in improv.
yeah, I started doing improv in Greenville, South Carolina with Alchemy, which is the logo I'm wearing here. This is how much I love the company. I made my own custom made windbreak jacket, jogger jacket that like only two people have, and those two people aren't even in the company. They're just guests that we had from New York and other places.
So did you like stitch it yourself too?
No, if I was as good as my mom, I would stitch it myself. But no, I sent this to a customized girl was a website because you ever go to like a place you want to make like your own gear and they're like, yeah, you can make your own gear, but you got to buy like 30 of them at a time. Like
Oh,
customized
yeah.
girl was super awesome. They did one jacket. It was like maybe $55 with shipping and it was perfect. So,
Yeah, I shop on this site a lot. It's called DH Gate. And dude, I get
oh,
like,
nice.
I get all these jerseys. Like I buy them like stitched letters, everything. I mean, they're
Mhm.
real NFL jerseys, but I get them for like $14.
That's
And,
awesome.
well, one time I made the mistake of ordering a PlayStation skin when I was drunk. I mean, so I was
It's
like,
not the
man,
worst thing you can buy when you're drunk, so that's okay.
but it was like a Hulk one, and I was like, this is a pretty good deal for like $50. Well, little did I know, I ordered like 60 of them. Like they all start showing up. I'm like, oh shit! And you know, it wouldn't make any difference for you to have a PlayStation 4 skin because you got your hands on a PS5, didn't you, Papa?
Look, so I you said you were sending me a gift from you and Tina. I have a suspicion now on what that gift is going to be a bulk of the Hulk skins. No, I'm a
I'm just gonna give you some junk laying around the house. I may give you a second package since it's Christmas Eve. And dude, Christmas Eve, I swear to you, my sister, whenever I go to Christmas, she only gives me junk. Like she literally just
oh
gives me
jeez.
junk for Christmas. I mean, it is absolutely insane. One year she gave me two of my old books. Like two of my books from high school, like my
And
books.
I
She gave me my
like
own
these.
shit. Yeah,
It's
so
more
like,
like a white elephant and also like helping her out at the same time.
yeah. Let me clean your house. Yeah, I'm just gonna start giving her trash bags and like recycle stickers, extra trash bag stickers. That's what because like I gave her bags of popcorn for Christmas this year because I'm tired of getting junk back.
All
I mean,
right,
who doesn't like popcorn?
like a good popcorn, or are you giving like a flavored
Orville
popcorn?
Redenbacher.
Oh, you can't get anybody in Orville, man. Orville's the
What
man.
movie theater butter?
Oh, did you make it
Yeah.
yourself? Did you like churn it and send it to her?
No,
Local
I'm not
handmade
like
butter?
you. I'm not like you. No, I'm not a culinary artist.
You were asking about improv. So I got an improv summer 2012. So true story. Just like anyone else, like I was going through a breakup and I was like 27, 28 at the time. And I mean, you're married too, so you probably maybe not hang out as many single friends now, but do you ever know that friend who gets into someone really badly where like they just pick up all their hobbies? Like they just
Oh
no
yeah.
longer have their own personality, but they're like all of a sudden they're like, yeah, go Blackhawks. You're like, dude, you don't like hockey. What are you talking
Uh-huh.
about? Why are you wearing a jersey? But because their significant other loves it, they just automatically cling to it. So I was kind of that douchey guy in my late 20s. And I remember sitting down after the break and I was like, you know what? I want to do something that's like fun for me? What is it that I enjoy? And I actually Googled a stand-up open mic in like another town, like an hour away from me, because I thought my town was too small to have something like that. And then lo and behold, I found through Google Alchemy Comedy, which had just started up like 9 months prior to when I like attended classes. And from there, I mean, I've met such a good amount of people. Just, I mean, we grew from like 9 people in the company to like over 100 company members in the group in our little town. And, from there, I do stand up from time to time. Obviously I do 3 podcasts, is how I met you kind of thing. And yeah, it's just been a fun journey, man. I just love networking and meeting people from all over. So,
okay. So I did want to go into, because the guest before you on the show, she was a I love mom. Is that what it says?
this is my number one mom cup that I steal from my wife that was given to her by the kids because there's no number one stepdad mug.
Oh shit! Well, I've got a Mitch Trubisky mug that's got that's got cranberry juice and vodka in there right now.
Wait, is the football on fire like NFL Blitz? What is going on?
Yeah, that is what's going on, dude. This is a 7-Eleven cup. Yeah. Oh, dude. And I've got the Khalil Mack, Akeem Hicks, Tariq Cohen. Oh yeah, it was a collector's item.
Oh man, that's too good for Mitch, man. He's got done wrong so dirty this year. Like that's good for him.
Oh yeah, Mitch is just terrible. All right, so
I was trying to pay him a compliment. You're like, he's just
so dude, I saw that you just smoked some or not smoked some ribs, you boiled some ribs, right?
Yeah, so I've had an Instant Pot for a couple of years, and I do like stews. I mean, just any kind of thing I can do in there. And then the other day, I was curious, like, I wonder if I can pressure cook ribs because I love ribs, but I don't have the time to do 18-hour roast in the night kind of thing. And I live near animals. We live off a mountain, and I don't trust animals in my backyard when I'm roasting ribs. So I did Instant Pot. It took 45 minutes total, like 25 minutes in the pressure cooker, depending on the style of ribs you have, and then just 5 minutes in the broiler, and it's done. Even my 8-year-old daughter was like, "Can I have more?" I was like, "Yes, you can have all you want." So
there you go. Hey, and you know what? Hey, Shot 30 Podcast is sponsored by The Bone Collector, a competitive barbecuer coming out of Viola, Illinois. I mean, if you haven't been there yet at this point, I don't know what's wrong with you, but his name is Ken Versluis. It's out of Viola, Illinois, and he's got brisket. He's got pork butts. He's got, literally every smoked mac and cheese. It is the most delicious ever. And his prices, you cannot beat them. Like a rack of ribs for $24, go get it. Bone Collector, Viola, Illinois. Visit their Facebook page. And they're only open certain periods of times because Andrew knows, like, it takes time to cook that kind of meat.
Yeah, you got to get it in early, man. And like, you got to just, last time I was in Chicago was like 3 years ago. My buddy, Taylor Dorsett, took me to a place. I cannot remember the name of it, but it was in a weird shipyard. Like, it's just super random and like this giant warehouse. And like, you had to wait in a line of people to get into the counter.
Well, dude, next time you come to Chicago, you're going to have to pop by. We're like 3 hours away from Chicago. So we'll like meet you like halfway. Yeah,
hey man,
on the outskirts.
We're gonna be somewhere good. I'm all for it. So,
Oh, so okay. So now your podcast, you have multiple podcasts.
Yeah. So
how is it balancing? How's it balancing all 3?
It's a juggle sometimes, but like so the first one I created March of 2000 was it 19, I guess. Yeah. And I was joking around with a friend of mine. No, it says 18. It's almost 3 years. Wow, I'm getting old. And we joked around like,
"Hey, lose the hair on the side of your head." I can see.
I know. Look at that.
No, not up there. No. I was talking about on the side. Yeah, look at it. It's all gone. That's like a reverse Dr. Phil.
I know. Okay, now you just want to sit down with your loved one and give them the best you can and give them the full effort there. I don't know why.
Catch me outside. How about that? Catch me outside. How about that?
Does Dr. Phil fist jab? I don't know why I did that. Anyway,
I don't really know. So I don't know if he does that.
It was my buddy Justin Hartman. We were joking around on Twitter because we were debating on Mighty Ducks over on Facebook actually, and I said it wouldn't be funny if people debated these weird Disney sports movies as if it was like an ESPN First Take show, and he was like, "If you make that a thing, I'm game." So we started doing that, and that's how we kind of kicked off a couple of episodes. And from there, like, I think we're approaching episode 100 soon. So I'm really excited about that. But then this year, obviously with COVID and everything, we're all stuck at home and I'm bored. And I have this thing about food. I love food. Obviously, you follow me on stuff, but I support local. So my day job is I work for the Chamber of Commerce in my town. I love promoting local. Like this shirt I'm wearing is local. It's from a place called Choppy Seas, and it's two brothers that created a beer, oil, and clothing company, including sweet hats like yours, and they donate the proceeds for mental health because their father unfortunately passed away as a suicide a couple years ago.
Are you trying to like rub it in that I don't donate my proceeds from my hats to that?
No, not at all. Just giving these guys a plug because they're really cool guys.
Hey, give them that plug. They deserve it.
I'm wearing the shirt and it says, "When you go through deep waters, I will be with you." Stuff like that. So I was sitting around just really kind of bored, and I love local businesses, and I said, I hate Yelp and Google reviews when people are like complaining about the stupidest small thing, like parking's terrible, 1 star. I'm like, okay, well, you didn't even eat the food. Like, you didn't even go in. So
yeah, there was some dick inside the restaurant who yelled at me, like, what? Just some guy eating food there. Like, oh, that should reflect the business, huh?
Yeah, that happens. There was one review we did recently where. And the podcast is called 1 Star Reviews, and we read local reviews from Greenville, South Carolina, where I'm from, and just kind of just really get in the mindset of like these people who, they're trolls, right? Like this one person was like, the response from the owner was so good. It was a place called Wings on the Run, and the owner was like, "Please don't take your beef with us. That's on DoorDash."
I actually watched a couple episodes of that, the 1 Star review, because you've had that for some time now.
Yeah, since March. We've done, I think, over 33 episodes so far this year. It's been a lot of fun, but going back to your question on how to balance it out, man, like it's kind of a juggle. But what really picks me up, because the third podcast I do is my Alchemy Comedy podcast. So our theater went dark back in March, like most theaters did, and a lot of improv, a lot of stand-up theaters are closing down because they just can't pay the rent and bills. Luckily, we rent a space in a coffee shop in town. So I've been doing the podcast to kind of keep like awareness and keep like something circulating out there in the world that we are still existing. But what keeps me going and balanced, and answer your question with the long answer, it's the relationships and friends, man. Like my friends will hit me up with ideas and I'm like, let's run with it. Let's do it. Cause like there'll be days like, like you're burned out. You're like, man, I'm tired. I don't know what I want to do. And you're just like, your creative juices are done. But when my friends are like, hey, I have this idea, I'm like, dude, let's go. I'm down. Let's just hit it right now. I trust you. So.
Yeah, we've had so many. I mean, we had burlesque dancers, a woman who owns a burlesque.
That was insane. I love that.
And then we had a couple of people from drag, and they too said like they went from like doing 35 shows a year, which drag and burlesque just goes hand in hand with improv and stand up. Like, so they like, these are all in the same world. Like, we all rely on weekly type of connections and in front of a crowd, and without a crowd, I mean, you're just dying up there, like there's nothing else. But I did want to show you. So the burlesque dancer, she was 68 years old, still doing burlesque, killing it. And she gave me these titty tassels as a gift. But on one of the episodes, I was talking about the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. I don't know if you've ever seen that flick.
Oh, I know of it. I know there's a sequel too, unfortunately.
But yeah, so to tie those back together, and if you're just listening on one of the podcast apps, so here's the titty tassels. Well, I didn't realize this was a Sisterhood of the Traveling, because here's all the burlesque dancers. Yep. And so, yeah, that's going to go back in the back wall. And if you guys are just listening, everyone in the burlesque show put the titty tassels on and passed them to the next person, and they put together a collage for me. It's beautiful.
The fact that the Superman symbol, supposedly means hope, and they're literally covering up titties. Like every guy's dream in that place. Like, I hope those fall off. I don't know.
or I just hope to see more. There's always
subconsciously
more.
When they're looking at a Superman cartoon, they're like, why am I aroused all of a sudden?
Yeah. Probably because it's Henry Cavill and that outfit they gave him, man. They put that supersized cup in there, dude.
He is stacked, man. I just was like amazed. Him in the Witcher series.
Oh
My
yeah,
God.
dude, and what a handsome guy. Like not to full out drool, but like the guy is about as good of looking as it gets.
And he's a super nerd. You know that?
Is he?
He builds his own PCs. Like he just did another one this year. His second. So he played. So true story. He got the role of Superman.
Does he build his own PCs,
No, he
or
does.
does he
He
sit
did it.
there while his 20
Nope.
assistants do it?
No, he did a time lapse video and it's just by him. Like he did the whole thing himself twice. It's insane. But this is a true story I read. He got the role of Superman while he was gaming on World of Warcraft, and he missed the initial audition call that said he got the role. They had to call him back because he had his headphones in, zoned the hell out, and then it was like got a message like call me back, and he was like, oh, I got the role, cool.
Dude, I think that kind of stuff is awesome. And that's with the new show that I'm going to be doing. Like, that's the kind of stuff I hope to find out about people. Like, we're starting a new show on Pod Mini, the app Pod Mini. It's called the Shane Newbert Show. And what we're going to be doing is just interviewing a bunch of different people, kind of like this show. But, and yeah, I just want to learn more about people like that. Like, dude, everybody knows about Henry Cavill, the Superman, the Witcher, but nobody knows about Henry Cavill, the nerd, the
Super
geek.
nerd.
Yeah. And everybody still, like everybody still is a person at the end of the day, even though we just put them into this world of, I want to be like you, or this is the luxurious life. Well, they don't always live that life.
Yeah. I think the one thing I've learned doing so many interviews and just meeting people over the past couple of years is like, never assume anything with anyone. Like you just never know what other hobbies and connections you can have and commonalities with people. Like with me, like, I just talked about having like PlayStations. I have like a bunch of lightsabers behind me, just like you with your Star Wars stuff. But at the same time, it's like you, like I love sports. Like you and me were talking the other day and I was, going back and forth with you on like Chicago sports and just in general. Like I'm in 2 fantasy leagues that are insane. Like I'm in my championship game this weekend. Like I could, like my kids are like, why do you like football? And I was like, because it's just competitive, man. And like, once you understand the game, like you can't like not get into it and understand the schematics and what are the stakes and that kind of stuff. And to me, that's the thrilling part.
So you've seen The Mandalorian?
End? Absolutely.
The end. Spoiler alert. Anybody out there.
3 seconds right now to turn this off or skip forward.
Yeah, you're going to skip forward at least 3 minutes. And if we're still talking about this, if we're still talking about Luke Skywalker at this point, hey, then you need to keep going forward. You like that? Dude.
Warning.
I did not see that coming in any way whatsoever at the end of Mandalorian. And also, if you haven't seen it at this point, you're not a real fan. So I don't really feel sorry for you.
I surprisingly got so many people that told me, like, I texted them like the day after, because, I'm not the guy. I have some friends who watch it at like 6 or 7 in the morning and then immediately on Facebook spoil. I'm like, what is wrong with you? People are just waking up, dude. Like, stop.
Yeah, it got released at midnight, you idiot.
Yeah, exactly. And then, but I'll text people the next day. I'm like, hey, did you see the finale? Just to like make sure I can talk to you about it. I've had so many friends be like, I'm on like episode 2 or 3. I need to catch up. I'm like, yes, you fucking do. Like, what's wrong with you?
I just had a guy. Oh, I'm as big of a Star Wars fan as it gets. I was like, okay. And he goes, so on my Christmas break, I'm gonna binge watch the last 6 episodes. I was like, oh, dude, just go.
So me and my buddies on Fall Start the other day, we did a more than 2 hour rant, actually 2 episodes because it was so long, about the whole season 2 of Mandalorian, and like, we went through like all kinds of theories we had and all kinds of things we looked for season 3. I mean, it was just such a fun topic when you can just openly rant for that long of like my thoughts and stuff like that,
Well, and for me too, I mean, my wife knows already. I have one of the biggest celebrity crushes on Rosario Dawson. So and she likes to get naked a lot in shows that she does. And I have no problem with it.
Yeah. I mean, that whole cast in general, like, it's so good. Like, I have like a crush on Cara Dune. I know she can whip my ass in 2 seconds, but it's kind of the appeal, right? It's kind of the appeal of it.
What's her real name?
Gina UFC fighter. Gina with a C.
Carisano.
It's close. She's thick, man.
Carreno.
Boom.
Okay, dude, hot as fuck.
Yes.
I mean,
also for me, like, like childhood, like when I was a kid, I liked the lady who plays Ming-Hua Wen, who plays Finnick Shan. I was like, oh man, she's really pretty. But then I was like, oh wait, like she's a lesbian, like coming out like 15 years ago. So I was like, yeah, it's okay. She'll
Yeah.
always be my Mulan though. She'll always be my
Uh,
Mulan.
I
Oh, and
understand.
Sasha Banks, dude, like that lady scene, they earned that scene so hard, whipping the stormtrooper's ass.
Yeah, dude. I mean, as long as they give Rosario Dawson the spinoff, I will take anything. I'll take
Yep.
the Boba Fett series. I will take the Obi-Wan series. I will take whatever they're doing with Hayden
So much,
Christensen.
man. That stakeholder meeting, they announced so much stuff coming out.
Oh, dude, what do you think about his name slips my mind all the time. I'm a huge Marvel guy, but his name, he played Winter Soldier.
Sebastian Stan.
Sebastian Stan as a young Luke. Like, dude, they are identical. And
It's insane.
they should have used him because that mouth, when Luke shows up, that mouth, that CGI, that mouth, that was something a little wonky.
For the
Oh,
viewers
thank
at
you for
home
that.
there.
Yes. Look at
To
that.
the left
That
is Luke, left is Mark Hamill, and then to the right, that's straight up Sebastian Stan's face. It's insane.
unreal. Thank you for
So
doing
a buddy
that.
of mine actually posted. So the reason I had that so quickly is because a buddy of mine yesterday posted a fake article, I think from fandomwire.com. So if you follow Fandom Wire, stop following. They post fake stuff all the time. But he was like, "Oh, I think there's a Luke Skywalker series coming out." And he posted on like his girlfriend's thing. I was like, "Dude, that's fake." Because that's Sebastian Stan's face in that article. And he's like, "What? I don't even know who it is." Haha. I was like, "Dude, that's Winter Soldier." And like I went down this big thread on his Facebook. So I totally just diminished his whole dreams. Now that I think about it, I was kind of an asshole.
Oh no, dude. No. I think it's a great move. I think it's a great move. And I mean, but if they can get him to actually do that, oh, it'd be unreal. Because
Well, I agree.
there
That's
are
a great
people
idea.
that's made for roles. No. Like
Yeah.
I truly believe there's people that are made for roles. So, I mean, like, I thought Matt Murdock in the new Daredevil series should have been Michael C. Hall, Dexter.
Cox. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love Charlie C. Cox. He's great. I thought it should have been Dexter or Michael C. Hall.
Hall.
Yeah.
So going back to the Sebastian Stan, there's a fun fact I read about. It was like I think 2017, like an interview. So Mark Hamill actually gave, because it was just like theories of like if they do Star Wars movies with a young Luke, like who could play him, and that meme came out and people went berserk. Mark Hamill actually said he would be fine with Sebastian Stan playing a young version of Luke, and he would sign off. He even said, "I like him so much, I would play his dad in anything that we can get set up in. I really respect him as an actor." Blah blah blah. And I was just like nerding. I was like, "Make this happen! Someone make this happen!"
Well, a lot of these guys like Robert Downey, Chris Evans. Chris Evans is kind of living away from it, and same with Robert Downey. But a lot of these people who play these roles, Adam Driver, they get stuck as that for life. Like it's hard for them to become a different character. Even though Adam Driver in the Black Klansman, dude, so good. Have you seen the Black Klansman?
I haven't, but I heard really good things about it.
Oh my god, it's so awesome. Okay, so a black guy gets into the KKK, and but they're doing like a sting, and it is brilliant. It's brilliant.
And it's based on a true story.
Yes, and the book is brilliant as well. Absolutely.
When I first heard about the premise without seeing a trailer, my mind immediately went to, unfortunately, white chicks. And I was like, man, I hope this guy wasn't wearing makeup. That'd be terrible.
Juana Man.
Oh, God. Why you got to remind me that's a movie? Why did you have to remind me that's a thing?
Dude, I wonder how many people have fapped to Juana Man.
I'm sure there's a subreddit out there for that. There's a subreddit for everything. Juana Man fab, not safe for work.
Juana Man was like the Ignite for transgender. Like it was Juana Man, and then it was okay.
Oh man.
Underrated basketball movie, by the way.
It's a decent one. I watch He Got Game, and I still get a little shook up at times.
Oh yeah.
Because I think about
to add to the list of basketball movies, Ben Affleck just did one, and it was great.
Oh, was it not Glory? What is it called?
It just came out. Hey Jamie, can you look that up?
It's like it's like a hope kind of. What is it called? Now I'm gonna look it up.
Where he's a drunk.
The Way Back.
Yeah. And that was great. Dude, that one's bone chilling.
All right, so now I gotta put that on my list too. So I love Ben Affleck, man. Like I think he, for all the crap he's gone through the past couple of years between like his addiction, his divorce, and he's like his ties with WB, like he got his ass in the past couple of years, but he's still kicking, man.
Oh, dude, I swear to you, if you like Ben Affleck and you like his story, like not like it, but you like follow it, wait till you watch this movie that he produced. He produced this The Way Back, and yeah. It's kind of
I
a
read an
lot
interview
like
with him.
it's a lot like David Duchovny and Californication. That's actually a lot about his life, his sex addiction and everything like that. A Way Back has a lot of tie-ins with Ben Affleck as a person.
There was an interview with him earlier this year, or maybe the end of last year. It was like I'm talking about his addiction and his divorce, and he's like, "What was the hardest thing you had to go through?" And he's like, "Definitely leaving Jennifer." And I was like, "Man, if I had to leave Jennifer Garden too, that'd be a hard thing to do." So,
yeah, that's a tough move. You want to know what else isn't a tough move? Buying a new car. Hey, and in Princeton, Illinois, go visit Matt Manning at Peel Automotive. What he's going to offer you is $500 extra on your trade-in. So just go in there, mention Shot 30 Podcast, Matt Manning, Peel Automotive, Princeton, Illinois. I mean, it's very easy. Just say, oh, Shot 30 Podcast. And he goes, $500 more on your trade-in. So I don't know how that works. If you like wait till the end and be like, oh, wait, Shot 30. And then you get 500 more. I don't know how he works with that, but he's got a Facebook page, Matt Manning at Peel, Matt at Peels, Princeton, Illinois. Go check him out and buy a new car.
I love that this is all being recorded on video so people can see how smooth the transition is of your plugs.
Yeah. Hey, have you ever been hungry before?
Come to Shane Newbert's house in the cabinet. I'm just kidding.
Well, that's actually kind of what it is. Hey, Mrs. Newby's Cakes and Cookies. Visit Mrs. Newby's Cakes and Cookies. She just wrapped up with all of our Christmas orders. They were beautiful. She made over 470 cocoa bombs. And listen, if you don't know what 470 cocoa bombs looks like, just picture those pyramids in Giza or wherever they are, right behind me of cocoa bombs. That's what it looks like. But now she's getting ready for Valentine's Day orders, and she's making custom made like chocolate bars. It could say Andrew Van is cute as hell, whatever you want it to say. But visit Mrs. Newby's Cakes and Cookies on Facebook and Instagram today.
And that's really your wife's side business? Or like main business?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, that is awesome. I love that. I love the idea of that. I love the support of that.
Yeah, wait till you see like her decorative cakes. First of all, she makes everything from scratch, and she makes all the decorations herself. And I mean, she has a talent that it's unreal. It is the most beautiful. If she could quit her job and do that, it would be very successful. Except for the fact that, hey, we all got life insurance through her, or insurance just through her, because she works for the state. So until we start making a lot of money from the podcast, then she'll open her full business. Yeah.
Well, dude, I love the genuine enthusiasm you put behind supporting your wife like that. That is something I think, not to sound like a different train here, but like I more dudes need to do that, right? Like more dudes need to be like your wife's biggest cheerleader. And I love following your posts, dude, because I see your excitement on you and Tina doing things, and I love it, man, 100%. More of the stuff than you do with the podcast, more stuff you doing with Podmini. I love that you're just like me, and that like, hey, whatever my wife's doing, I'm on board 1,000%.
Did you call her Tina?
Sorry, man, I'm sorry.
It's very difficult. So I'm gonna walk you through this, just because if I didn't, dude, I would probably be like Lance Armstrong right now. She'd take one ball and then she'd leave me with the other in case I screw up again. Then
but you'd be running so much faster if you
yeah, I just start blood doping. But her name is Temerie.
Temerie. I apologize so hard, Temerie.
Oh, dude, she'll get over it after. I mean, she's gonna put a gag ball in my mouth and probably whip me a few times, but
that's Shane's third podcast.
Dude,
Gagging with Shane, the video
Shot 30 after hours, after dark. Actually, I kind of like Gagging with Shane way better.
It means so many different things.
Yeah, I like Gagging with Shane. Oh. So where did
I'm signing it off to you right now?
Where Visit the OnlyFans. Gagging with Shane. Available today. $3.99.
I'll run the Twitter account.
Yeah, for starting this shit. Okay, so where did you learn how? We got to get out of this rut right now.
Segment change. Here we go.
Where did you learn how to cook?
So my dad apparently, so my dad and my mom came from Vietnam in 1975 to escape the war.
Mhm.
And so I'm a first generation born here child. And before my dad moved, he was around, I guess he was in his early 30s, and his family. So they both came from big families. That my dad has 14 brothers and sisters. My mom has 13 brothers and sisters. We're Catholic and apparently super poor in Vietnam. But because he had a big family, he was somewhere in like not the middle, but he's like in the top line of the kids, and he always was like the second parent in the house. So he took care of the kids, he cooked, and he was really passionate about it. And so from that, he learned a lot of skills. And then when he came to America, he met some really good folks that we are really good friends with to this day, named the Griffins. And this is a true story. So my dad, when he was at Clemson University, he met the associate dean who took him in and said, "Hey, like, I would love for you to come by and visit my family for Christmas because you don't have anywhere to go." Because my mom, it's a weird backstory. My mom, and this is a super long answer. I apologize. My mom was living in Michigan at the time with my brother who was just born. And my dad was in Clemson, South Carolina, which is like an hour away from Greenville where I'm at, because that's where he got accepted to go to a university in America after he had just come from nothing, literally $20 in his pocket from Red Cross and a bag of clothes. But he was an electrical engineer in Vietnam, and so he had to restart from everything. So he's always been a survivor, right? So like my dad learned from these folks, the Griffins as well, like how to cook Southern cuisine. From there, he taught my mom a lot of stuff, and my mom was a really good cook growing up. My mom did most of the cooking, but my dad was always like in the background. My dad was like, from my growing up, my dad was like the backseat driver. My dad just kind of looked back there and be like, "You need to add more sauce." And she'd be like, "Oh, okay, great, sorry." Yeah, that's exactly the relationship growing up in the kitchen. And so from there, both my parents have just always been really big cooks growing up. And so for me, I took some things from their lessons and just like weird little tricks. Like if you ever wonder how a Chinese restaurant cuts that chicken so thin and fine, it's because the trick is with the restaurant trick, you put it back, the chicken is flawed, you put it back in the freezer for 10 minutes to get it like a little hard, and then it's easier to slice.
I just learned that. I literally just learned that like a week ago. Was that you who shared that?
Was it me?
Okay, somebody just shared that, and I just learned that.
Yeah, and then like just weird tricks I've learned over the years, like how to make really good home fries and potatoes. You soak it in like ice water for like 30 minutes, and then you drain it, dry it, and then you fry it however you want, and it's like restaurant quality. Like so for me, it's just a lot of experience, and also lately it's really therapeutic with 2020. We're at home more. We're trying to be safe. We're trying to like not go out and eat as much, save money and all stuff. Like to me, I'm just like, you know what? We got stuff in this house. I can figure something out. And so, and for me, like, I love it because it helps my kids' palates, right? Like, so it's not just chicken nuggets. So it's not just like hamburgers here and then pizza. It's like, hey, I want you to try this crazy thing. Because before I came in this household, my kids never had really like any kind of Asian food. They love everything my mom makes. And it's, to me, it's really sweet, right? Because like, these are going to be my only kids I have. These kids who are not like my blood. But, through God, like they were like the ones that were meant for me. I love the fact that like every time I go to my house, they eat the hell out of her fried rice, eat the hell out of her egg rolls, her soups and all this stuff. And they're just like, this is the best food we've ever had. And I was like, that means a lot right there.
Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. And if you want to learn about more recipes, you should go to Shane and Andrew's Gagging with Shane. Gagging with Shane is going to be a recipe site.
Dude, we're going to get kicked off the Instagram so fast with that name.
Yeah. Dude, okay, so we'll make beautiful meals together, and then you just shove them down my throat as hard as you can until I like
he's reached his limit. It's like a bad food competition at that point.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Have you like the really hot chili peppers and all those, like those competitions? I watched a show that was talking about those, like all those peppers. They made a pepper that is off the scale that they don't know how many Scoville units it is. They think it's somewhere around 60 to 70 million.
What?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
I'll send you the link to that after. But I can tell you, like, I'm a huge hot sauce guy. Like, I've done all the challenges.
I love hot sauce.
I've done all the challenges. I mean, I have the DaBomb Beyond Insanity sitting right behind me. The world's hottest gumball. We've got Reapers in here. We've got The one chip challenge. The one chip challenge is the only thing that I've ever done that I felt like my health was at risk.
I'll tell you two quick stories real quick. So I was at this Indian restaurant called Hondi in Greenville, and it's like a buffet Indian restaurant, and you of course sit down dinner, and they always ask you, what is that thing they always ask you when you order it? Scale of 1 to 10, how much do you want it? Today, in particular, I said, give me a 9. This dude didn't do this with any other of my friends who were white and black with me. Only with me, the only Asian crowd. He's like, come on. I was like, what? Come on. I was like, come on, what? And he's like,
Go 10.
give me the 10. He brings it out. It wasn't that bad. It was very flavorful. I love hot food that's flavorful, but not hot food that's like punching you in the mouth. The other time I did a hot challenge with funny story is I ate a dried Carolina Reaper from my buddy at the beef jerky outlet in town. It doesn't hit you for the first 5 minutes. It was really good.
Oh, it simmers.
The next minute, it like hit me in my ear. You know that feeling? Yeah. And then like I was reading on my phone so fast, like, how the hell did I get this pain out of here? And so there was no milk, there was no bread in this office. But you know what was the best trick I've ever found? And this, thank God, was a sugar packet. If you're ever eating hot food and you are struggling, just take a little sugar packet or a little spoonful of sugar, just let that dissolve, and it's the quickest thing to take anything out of your heat.
Dude, I've got a secret method for it.
Take it.
Mustard.
What?
Mustard takes your focus off the heat and it puts it into that sour sweet, and it takes your focus off of it. And so you go like, oh, wait, your brain gets confused for it to calm down. Yeah, dude. We got the Reaper from the hottest farm in America, and I dipped it in a sauce called Mad Dog 357, which is 357,000 Scoville units. So I covered it, and we just went like that. And that was nowhere near as bad as the new version of the Packy One Chip Challenge. Like, fuck, dude, those guys are out there trying to do more harm than COVID.
Oh my God. I don't know. So is it a potato chip or is it like a dried pepper?
It's a potato chip, but it's like charred off tar. That's what it really feels like. When you put it in your mouth, it's like someone scraped off some tar, dipped it in a little something bad, and yeah, it's just horrible. But yeah,
he loves sour shit. My 10-year-old loves sour stuff, and I asked him, I was like, "What do you want for like Santa to bring in your stocking?" He's like, he thought really hard. Like he literally just like zoned out for like a solid couple seconds. He goes, "Yeah, I'd be happy with mustard." I was like, "What?
What the hell?"
Like, yeah, I like some mustard because I love mustard. I was like, this kid is simple. I was like, I like that. I'm down with that. So
I did like Rockland, our 8-year-old, dude. Everything I do, I'm like, I'm going out to work out. She goes, me too. And I'll be like, go Bears. She's like, go Bears. I'm like, oh, the Bears suck. She just walks in the room shaking her head. The Bears suck. Like it's everything that we do. And
isn't that like the best?
Oh yeah, dude. If I put on a beater, like I walk in, I'm like, oh, I'm feeling swollen. Yeah. She comes out like, do I look swole today? It's awesome.
My kid is huge too. So I'm 5'6", like around 180 and change. So like I'm a little chubby down below, but I'm also like broad like you a little bit. But I mean, you're more swole than me, like by a long stretch.
Bro, I'm 5'8", 260.
Nice. You're like the bull I wish I could be in like a creative Avatar game.
No, I got to clean up a little bit. I definitely got to clean up. I'm gonna probably push back towards keto or like the carnivore.
You know what's worked for me? I've been doing fasting, the intermittent fasting for the past 3 months, and I've lost 14 pounds.
I do love fasting, but my problem is I drink so much that if I at night, I drink so much at night that I'm like, oh, I need something in my system. Like, give me something greasy.
Podcast drinking? What?
Yeah. It's a rarity. At least in the new show, I won't have to drink as much. Or
you won't have to, but you won't be stopped.
Yeah, true. Dude, we're like the breakfast, like this is like the breakfast club right now.
I know. I may have a little bit of that eggnog in here. I'm not going to say. But.
Hey, dude. Yeah, you don't have, I mean, we won't reveal anything too significant here.
So my kid is big, right? So he's like 5 foot already like 130 something pounds, and he's wearing like my old shirts that I used to wear before I got married and I put on weight. And to me,
Mhm.
it blows my mind. I was like, well, one, I just saved his mom, my wife, a lot of money on clothes, but two, like he also wears like my old like tank tops and stuff around the house. And it's so funny to me. I'm like, God, was I that small when I met? I was like, oh,
Yeah. How old's that one?
he's 10.
Oh, okay. Oh man, he could be a little 5 foot.
Yeah,
Huh?
his doctors predicted him to be like at least 6'2" and some change there. So he started working out with me. So we have a home boxing gym in the garage. So we have a heavy bag, speed bag combo thing out there, a couple of weights, a couple like pitching, like hitting mitts and stuff like that. And then I have a workout bar in the bonus where I'm at right now. So he really enjoys just kind of like getting out like daily school angst, coming home and just like beating on the bag to be like, you know what, I feel better now. So.
Yeah, that's a lot better than like holding in your anger and it ended up like the whole Columbine shit. Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah. I was telling him, like, look, I don't care how you feel. If you can't talk it out, like just come out here with
Yeah.
me for like 30 minutes and I'll whip your butt a little bit, like do some burpees with me. You're gonna do some jump ropes with me, beat the bag a little bit, and then we'll feel better. Trust me. So he also
Yeah.
sweats like crazy. Like immediately I'll be like, all right, now go shower.
Yeah, deodorant.
Yes,
Yep.
he has
Learn
reached
to
that
love
age
it.
where it's like, oh, so
Yeah, I got a buddy, his kid, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be the only person to tell him, but I will be. Like, let me break the news to him. You fucking stink, bro. Like, yeah. I'm like, here, I got extra. We were COVID hoarders. So like when
Yeah.
COVID broke out, we went to the store because we live far away. So we stocked up on a bunch of shit and made everybody mad. Don't care. But we have like
You gotta
30 sticks of
survive.
deodorant. Yeah, we had Flint. Dude, we literally went out and bought Flint. I'm like, if we really get to the point in time where I'm gonna have to try to make a fire, I hope we have a couple bullets because I'll just end all this shit. Like, yeah, if I'm gonna have to be forced to make a fire.
I love that you approach this kid and you're like, take the hint.
Yeah, no, I literally said, bro, you stink. I said, go get some deodorant. You can use mine. Take the last one, pull some pit hairs out of it.
That's awesome. It's funny. It's awesome.
Oh, but yeah, dude. I mean, I'm ready for, and now there's this new strain of COVID, and then you got people out there getting the vaccination and they're not even putting the needle in their skin, or there's nothing in the syringe. I don't know if you've seen those videos yet.
Was it like a bootleg Pfizer? What's going on?
Dude, I don't know. They had this video and I mean, they're like, here, this doctor's getting in his COVID vaccination, and there's nothing in the syringe. Like literally, he fake pushes the button or the syringe, and it was all very weird. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this year. I hope it all ends. Everybody gets healed up and better, and this shit disappears. But now there's the second wave coming at us.
Do you remember in the beginning of this year, like in January, right at New Year's, the biggest thing we worried about was people saying, make sure when you sign documents and date documents to put 2020 and not 20 so people can't forge your documents. I was like, oh man, that's crazy stressful. And then all this shit happens. Like, oh yeah, I forgot about that being like a thing to worry about.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, what the year started out with, like that one chick from that dating show, like she couldn't decide to be with that one guy. I don't know if you saw that. It was like the biggest news of the year. There was a dating show. She like Love is Blind.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that show.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that was what we thought was what chaos was. Hold my beer. Hold my beer.
Oh my! Hold my needle. Oh my god.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, hold my tissues. No one would be saying that at the grocery store. It's more like, give me your fucking tissue. It was like Black Friday shopping all year this year, dude, for toilet paper.
I think, yeah, there was that one big wave where people were buying it out. And then like recently, I think maybe back in September or October for our town, like there was like a second wave of people going through nuts. I was like, what did you not learn the first time? What did you not understand? You don't need to do this. Unless like you are in a small town away from like shit. You don't need to do this.
So what's the weirdest thing that you've ever used as a mask?
I bought several masks off of Etsy. So I had that one that creeped out a lot of friends. It's the Kevin McAllister Home Alone mask like this,
Oh yeah.
but the print didn't lay out right. So the fingers are like a little bit longer than you would think in the mask, and then the nose is like caught up like this.
Damn,
So
kind
it
of
looks
like
like
the
you ever
Grinch.
seen like a well, not the, you ever seen like a Guillermo del Toro movie like Pan's Labyrinth, like those Doug Jones characters that are like all weird looking and gangly, and they look like an alien. Like that's what it looked like on my face.
I think
So,
I know what you're talking about, but yeah, I did see your picture of that. The fingers look like, dude, they look like oh, what is it? Where they have that like well, I guess the Grinch fingers would work with that too.
yeah,
But yeah, real
those long,
long.
gangly, like tentacle looking. Yeah, it was weird printout. And then I love my Bane mask because I love doing the Tom Hardy.
Ah.
Of course,
darkness is your ally. I was born in it.
molded by.
Yeah, there we
I
go.
was a man before I saw the light. Yeah, I love that movie so much.
Oh,
man. I'm so
that was
glad
so
that
good.
that movie made the trilogy made into like I can't remember like the official nominee of like badass movie,
Yeah, dude,
whatever that status is.
I was so happy that Tom Hardy didn't die after shooting that film because like I really wanted him to make another one. That was a terrible Heath Ledger joke. Sorry.
I love the what is oh man, the comedian just left my brain. Pete Holmes. He does like a humor, like whole series, like based
Pete
on like
Holmes,
the whole
the guy with the
Dark
bug
Knight.
eyes.
Yeah.
Okay.
He does like a whole Dark Knight trilogy. So like there's one where it's like is that scene where Talia is revealed to be like the bad guy and Bane's just like really like a for her.
Uh-huh.
And like Pete Holmes Batman's like, what? We totally had sex. Really, like really bad. Like I spit in your mouth.
Dude, that's actually really good. Dude, that's actually really good. That was a really good.
Bane just, thanks. You see like Bane just like disgust. He's like, oh, what? Oh. And like Batman pulls out like a pair of panties from sleeping with her. He's like, yeah, hey, you want a sniff of this?
I
Which one
did
of these
see
is-
this. I did see this.
So-
Dude,
so
you're killer with
good.
that. You're killer with that. Oh my god. That's good. And then the Joker's over there. He's like, you see, my father was a drinker and a fiend. And one night he goes off a little crazier than usual. That was my best. That was my best. That's all I got.
You wanna see a magic trick? Ta-da! I love Heath Ledger, man. That role is just insanely out of this world.
Oh, dude, he was great. He was great. And if they could have kept that, imagine if they could have kept that rolling. Tom Hardy, Heath Ledger, and then you stack on top. What's his name? As Two-Face was great as well.
Oh yeah, Aaron Eckhart. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they could have just kept. Man, it could have been like Marvel, man. They could have done it, but they could have done it. They could have done it like in a way it was more about the villains. Everything could have been about the villains. I mean, and then then you still nab in Harley Quinn. What's her name?
Margot
But-
Robbie.
Yeah, and then like Will Smith as Deadshot and all these things. Like you literally have a whole different brand than Marvel. Marvel's all about the superheroes. Now you have
Yeah.
like a side all about the villains, and it could have worked, but they screwed it up, and they screw it up again and again. And
I
again.
can't tell you how much I'm looking to the James Gunn Suicide Squad. It's got like
Oh,
the
yeah.
biggest cast I've ever seen. Bigger than like Endgame. Like each one of these, because Endgame is great as it is one of her movies. Like not everyone has equal screen time, right? Like there's some people in there for like 2 minutes, literally. But
Mhm.
like with the Suicide Squad, like this is gonna be like bonkers insane with so many like screen time with all these people like Sly Stallone, Idris Elba, Fillion, John Cena. I mean, it's gonna be
But
great.
it really is so much like Guardians of the Galaxy. Like those two squads are
Mhm.
like the complete flip-flop of each other, and both have the room to be great, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I
I love James Gunn. I mean, I'm glad he got that project and he's coming back to Guardians, which sucks that Guardians won't come out for like another 2 years, but I mean, it'll be worth the wait.
Uh-huh. Well, and it'll be with Fat Thor at the helm. but I think that's gonna be that they're gonna kibosh that real quick.
I don't want to crush your dreams. He's already confirmed he's not going to be fat in that one. He's already. Did you see
Yeah.
that photo of him for the Hogan movie?
For
Where he's pushing
which one?
on the giant wheel. So Chris Hemsworth's playing Hulk Hogan in a biopic.
Oh no, I haven't seen that.
Oh my God. So yeah, so he's, I mean, even Hogan has given the approval of like, yeah, brother, like I'm a dude. And he's like even more jacked somehow to the point where like I can't remember who it was, but some comedian, some like actor like who does stuff with him, he's like, Can you like stop? You don't have anything to like prove anymore. So but
Well,
he's somehow getting even more big.
Jamie Foxx did that for he's gonna be playing Tyson. Oh god damn. That's fappable.
That's his arm. Look at that.
God. He
Oh,
looks like one of those steroided up bowls that they have for extra meat. Yeah, dude.
but no, he's all natural. He's Chris Hemsworth. Unlike Stallone, who doesn't mind taking HGH. So
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a little HGH here and there. Just bust up. Yeah. Dude, I mean the guy's still alive, so that he must have done something.
oh yeah.
I
He's
mean,
doing something right. I remember when the
you imagine
Balboa
fighting
came
the
out.
Russian? The Russian? And like, dude, after all those hits he took, he's still alive today.
I love how the movie transitioned from 4 to 5, where 5 he's like developing brain damage, and then like when they do the 6th movie, they're like, oh yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, yeah. And then when he's 65 years old, he doesn't have dementia or anything like that. And also, you got to think
Yeah.
the guy was also, I mean, in the Appalachian Mountains or whatever, in negative 30-degree weather and cliffhanger, and he's still just kicking.
I mean,
You've
he
seen
was in better
Cliffhanger,
shape
right?
in that last Balboa movie. That's a long time after the movie. Yeah,
Oh, it's such a good movie, dude.
he was in better shape in that Balboa movie than the Mason Lion Dixon, who was a real boxer.
Oh,
That was
dude,
like so funny to me.
He had all those like what is it called when your veins like bulge out like that?
Oh yeah, he was sick looking. I was like, what?
Yeah, he looked like steroids. he just
Oh,
looked
he
like
was.
the spokesman.
He was.
for
He
it.
during the filming of that movie, he got busted with HGH at an Australian airport for the filming of that movie, and I was like, no shit. Look at the trailer. He looks like it.
Yeah. He's the biggest spokesperson for it. He's trying to get it over the counter. Like he's trying to normalize it throughout, throughout the United States, where you can just go up and say, "I want this. Just give it to me," like ibuprofen. Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
big spokesman on that. But
I hope people are careful with that if that's a thing, because I'd rather that be legal in a very careful method than that crap. What is it, like some Chilean countries and like South America? What is it? You know what I'm talking about? Maybe, but like that liquid they pump into your arms and make you look like freaking Popeye.
Oh,
but
dude,
your
that's called
forearms are skinny as
Synthol.
shit.
Well, Andrew, I'll
That's
tell you,
so
I
gross.
was with my history in powerlifting. I used to be a huge steroid. I mean, I used to take Tren, Sustanon, like Anathate, D-Bol, like everything. I took everything. I took growth. And I started growing a beard the next fucking day. Like I'd wake up and be like, "Ugh," and then my beard would just go. But
folks listening at home, you had no idea we do so many plugs for steroids, but there you go. If you want to grow a beard, there you go.
Yeah, you want to grow a beard and lose some up here, dude. Just
The trade-off.
it really is. It's like 10 more hairs here, 20 less up here, and I saw it happening faster and faster and faster. But or it's like 10 more or like 10 more centimeters here, and then you're gonna get 20 more pimples. Like that's the way it works.
Yeah.
But I have no idea where I was even going with that. Like, yeah, I don't.
Oh, we're talking about that synthol.
Synthol. So synthol is the grossest thing you can do as a human being, because what you do is you're actually injecting oil into your muscles. So let's say I put it into my bicep. So like if I put it into my bicep right here, and it's going to build up just that one spot. And if I put it back here, it's going to build up that one spot. So then then what it does is it hardens and turns into a cast. but that cast doesn't go away. It's there permanently. So you keep stacking that oil on top, and that's how you get these stupid block arms like that. But what happens is there's like a kind of like a ding dong, like there's a jelly fill. It doesn't all the way harden ever. So one day you'll go to hit it and it collapses. All that oil and all that shell, it just collapses and falls. And yeah, then you're fucked. Like you lose arms,
Yeah, like,
you lose.
I just, why? I don't get it. I just really just spend an hour or so in the gym, make a routine, and like you won't look like crap in like a few years. Like, what is
I mean, I could see why somebody would like want to put it on the end of their ding dong. Like, yeah, like give me an extra inch here, give me an extra inch here. But like, I mean, when
but it's like just flapping and
yeah, dude. you like pull it out, and it's like an anchor. You can't hold it out because the end's so heavy.
It's you'd have to make like a tourniquet and like make it stiff with like some like popsicle sticks to even get that to work. Like, what is wrong with people?
Oh yeah, dude. It's like a SpongeBob with the anchor arms. Did you ever see that? Where you can't lift him up, but they just hang.
Just noodling down.
Yeah. Larry the Lobster's over there. SpongeBob, what are you doing? Like, you're like, I don't know. I don't know. Hey, Gary. Meow.
Yeah. You nailed the SpongeBob Gary there.
Yeah, that's all I got. I guess I got two. I got SpongeBob and maybe Heath Ledger. That wasn't very good.
That's okay. I do too many impressions. I think my wife is gonna leave me at some point because one of the divorce papers will say does too many bits. I annoy the crap out of her voices. I think the one voice I annoy her with the most is Ray Romano, where I'll just kind of hear him when she says like, "Hey, can you reach for that tall cabinet?" And I'll be like, "Tall." It's a tall cabinet.
Damn, dude, that's good. That's good. I got one. Do you remember that little blue mouse from Nickelodeon on Cat Dog?
I briefly remember that time. Yeah.
Hey, Cat Dog. Hey, Cat Dog. Come over here. That's the only, I think I got that one. Dude, your Ray Romano was great.
I did Ray Romano because when I was in high school, I was trying to do Kermit the Frog for a friend. So I was like, I was wondering the other day, it's not easy being green. And then a friend of mine was just like, that sounds more like Ray Romano. I was like, well, Ray Romano is more like, deep back of your throat, and you kind of mutter.
Yeah, dude, you've got it. You've got it. All the way. Both of those were great. How did you do that?
I watch a lot of TV and had a lot of free time growing up by myself.
Yeah, dude.
But now I have a podcast studio, so I try to utilize it as best I can for doing little bits. Like I love shout out to my friends, the Bearded Ones podcast. They do like a movie trivia and like culture podcast, and they occasionally like once a month they do like a roast of like a fake celebrity or real celebrity. So like they had a roast of I can't remember who it was. It was like Tyler Perry, I think. And so they were making jokes like as fake celebrities doing impressions, and they had me come on as Charles Barkley. I was like, now look, I will do, Kyrie, look here, Kyrie Irving guy is a knucklehead. He just needs to shut the hell up, needs to go back to his fundamentals, heal that knee, and get that ball to Durant, and we're gonna be all fine.
Dude, that's good, man. That's good. Dude, you're a killer. You're a killer. That's good.
Charles Barkley gonna sue me one day. He gonna just kill me one day.
Dude, if Charles Barkley sues you, tell him to come sue me too, because I'll accept it. I just fucking take it. Dude, that's fucking awesome. I want
to be like Chuck.
Yeah, dude. How about Shaq? You got a Shaq?
Oh, no, man, I can't do no Shaq. Nope. No, I ain't gonna do no Shaq.
That's
I did watch Blue Chips for the first time the other day. I did watch Blue Chips for the first time the other day for my podcast. That movie is so good for a movie from 26 years ago.
Wait, what movie?
Blue Chips with Nick Nolte, Shaquille O'Neal.
It's like about, is that like the one where Shaq's a wizard?
No, yeah, well, no, that's Shazam. This is a movie where Shaq is supposedly like an 18-year-old like phenom out of like the like skirts of like Louisiana, and like, it's like him and Gary Payton, like when Gary Payton was like in his prime.
My guy. Gary Payton's my guy.
Yeah, dude, it's a real good. It's on our IMDb, one of the two apps.
I met Gary Payton in Seattle.
What was that like?
Incredible. He was incredibly kind. I was like
Oh, nice.
9 years old, and he was just like, "Hey man, what's going on?" I was like, "You're Gary Payton." Yeah, I am. I was like, "You're so cool." He goes, "You're cool too." Like that was it. I was like, this is the best.
Don't you love it when like celebrities like meet your level of like expectation of like kindness rather than like, oh man, that guy was a dick.
Yeah, dude. Like, well, like for me back when I was powerlifting and doing all that stuff, there Rob and Dana Lynn Bailey. I don't know if you know who they are. Flag nor fail.
Mm-mm.
Big. Rob makes a lot of music. Dana was a professional physique model. And but when I met Rob, like everybody said, "Oh, you and him look alike." And I'm like, "Oh, this is so cool." But when I met him, he just like grabbed me and he's like, "Dude, look at you. We're like twins." And like, I don't know. For me, I mean, he probably walked over to the next guy and said, "Hey, you're ugly as fuck, you scumbag. Get out of here." But for me, it was a cool experience. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that story.
But Furious Pete, you got to know who Furious Pete is. Competitive eater.
You gotta tap into me. What is? Oh man, I knew like there was a guy like I mean, I know like Joey Chestnut and Kobayashi and some of the other people. But, I don't know
Dude,
Furious
no.
Pete. What does he do?
Furious
Does he have like a
Pete,
staple?
Furious Pete is like the greatest of all time competitive eater. He just got cancer, and then he got it again. Testicular cancer. He got it twice. But dude, that guy is one of I talked to him for like a half hour. At the very end of talking to him, he was like, this was the coolest thing he ever said to me. He looked at me and he said, "Well, Shane, I hope to talk to you again." And I was like, dude, you remembered my name at the end of all of that? Like, I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
I Googled him. This dude is stacked.
Oh yeah, dude. He's a thick boy, baby. He's got some veins on top of that meat.
I mean, I'm looking at a picture of him eating like a tub. I mean, when I say a tub, folks, I mean like a tub of Nutella.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
yeah, dude, he's great.
So. I did an eating challenge this year. It was the first time I ever done an eating challenge, and it was a giant. I don't know how many ounces. I mean, it was definitely well over 40 some ounces of like a tomahawk steak with a bowl of fried rice and a bowl of broccoli. I had to eat in an hour. I barely got through that damn challenge with maybe like 3 minutes to spare. Here's the sicker part. My buddy Paul Pappy, he's the one who encouraged me to do it with him. I mean, you ever see that movie, The Great Outdoors, with John Candy and the 76er?
Yes.
It was that big of a steak. I'm not embellishing how big this tomahawk steak was. So he ate that same challenge in 13 minutes flat. He crushed the record previously, which was like 30 minutes flat or something like that. He ate this whole thing in 13 minutes. The owners came out and they're like, "What?
Whoa. Dude, that's crazy."
Yeah.
Wait, so now how fast did you do it?
I had like 3 minutes to spare in this hour. I was struggling so hard. I had to like leave, take a come back. I like had to have more water because the worst part was the broccoli. Because I like broccoli, but if it's just steamed broccoli after I just towed down this steak, I was like, I don't want to eat this broccoli. Like I just had this delicious steak that made me feel miserable. I power through it. So, and then the rice was kicking my ass.
Oh, dude, when I did the B-dubs, like the hottest challenge, the B-dubs challenge. 1 second.
Yeah.
Walter, shut up.
You got delivery there?
No, Walter is my dog. I named him Walter Payton. But
nice.
When I did the beat-ups challenge, it was so fucking hot when it came out. It wasn't bad going in, but when it came out, Walter, stop. God, I'm gonna just real professional. I'm not used to this morning podcast, okay? But when I did the challenge, I had to turn the ice, like water on all the way cold and just bend over in the shower and duck my head because when it came out, that boy was hot.
Oh my gosh. I can't imagine, man.
Tuck and duck, baby.
I love hot stuff, but yeah, the end result is never fun.
Dude, you want to know the end result is always fun when you receive a package like this one from Handmade by Haley. Handmade by Haley's making custom signs for any type of season, any holiday, anything that you could think of. If it's an anniversary, she does these stove toppers now, and they are I mean, as an Englishman would say, they're quite brilliant. But you should go check out Handmade by Haley on Facebook today. She's one of the best, sweetest people I've ever met. Her boyfriend, he's kind of something else. I don't know if I'd say he's the best, but go visit Handmade by Haley. I do love her boyfriend too. He's the best. But yeah, she makes all kinds of signs for any type of thing that you may need. She also has front door pickup in Kewanee, Illinois. Handmade by Haley. Whew.
That is awesome. And also, like, just that flow of her name with the business is like perfect.
Mm-hmm. Well, somebody once called it Hand Jobs by Haley, and I was like, I don't know how well that's gonna flow. Yeah,
That's a different Etsy store.
yeah. I've heard about stores like that. Aren't those called brothels?
My wife actually started a wreath and earring jewelry business this year just for fun on the side to get through COVID. And I don't think you can see way back behind me hanging on that wall. There is a "This is the way" door hanger. That my wife made. So no,
I do see it in the bottom left.
Yep.
Yeah, I do see that.
So
they
my
all
wife
kind
is,
of look like baby Yoda like carriers. All of those things kind of look like that little carrier he was in.
Yeah, the little pod. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, my wife's got really into just crafting to kind of get her through 2020, man. I'm really proud of her. She owns the business called the Sentient Rabbit. So she makes like earrings, she makes like little bows for girls, and then she makes door hangers, custom made, and all that kind of stuff. So I told her, I was like, hey, look, if you make a Mandalorian one, if no one buys it, Landon, our 10-year-old, would love that. It would just go right on his door in his bedroom. So
where do you find that site?
It's on Facebook. So just the Sentient Rabbit.
Sentient.
Yep.
You should probably spell that because anybody who's day drinking like me.
SENTIENT, Sentient Rabbit.
Okay, Sentient Rabbit. Go check that page out. And then where does everybody find all of your podcasts and everything that you do, Andrew?
Yeah, so the many podcasts. So False Start with Andrew Van is pretty much everything like you said. You know, it's on Apple, Google Play, Spotify, iTunes. You can even play it on your Amazon Echo if you want. Just say play, False Start with Andrew Van. I have 1-star reviews, and then I also have the Alchemy Comedy Podcast as well, which is like interviews, talking about improv, and just doing like audio stand up. So just check them out.
Andrew, I would love for you to be back on this. I would love for us to maybe get together in person one time, do one of these in a studio. This would be great. I think you're absolutely awesome, man. I appreciate it so much. I appreciate all the help that you've done for me and this, but I am going, well, you've got a package in the mail. There is a couple special gifts. It's not the Hulk PlayStation cover, even though that would have been an excellent idea.
Look at that callback. You were born to be an improviser. Look at that callback from an hour ago.
Yes, sir. All right. This is Shot 30 Podcast. I'm Shane Newbert. That's Andrew Van. Shot 30 Podcast is available on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, CastBox, and YouTube if you're just listening on the apps. And go ahead and hit subscribe now. Like the video. Leave a comment below. Go check out Andrew's stuff. And leave an Apple Podcast review because that only helps us. Thank you so much for being here, watching, and listening. This is Shot 30. Okay, so Andrew, what do we do now that it's over? Do I just press stop or do we talk for a minute afterwards and I just clip it?